Good morning. It is Sunday and the weather is so lovely. So I want to have a full day in the garden. I have a big shoot this week and I have been stuck inside just like trying to organise the kitchen. I've got people coming down to take pictures. Top secret, you'll find out soon. Also doing like a lot of nesting, to be honest, because the weather's been bad. So we've gone to the dump, we've been clearing out the utility room, trying to clear out like the room that's going to become the nursery and stuff like that, but I feel very cooped up, and so I wanted to spend a day in the garden because when I cleared the utility, there was loads and loads of stuff in there that we have kept inside because we never had a shed. If you've been following for a long time, we did lots of renovations a while ago. Sorry, I'm fiddling on my hair, it's windy. If you've been following for a while, you know that we did lots of renovations to the patio and to our garage conversion that went on for quite a long time. And so we never got a shed because we were like doing that essentially, and it was just not the time to be putting a shed in a space. And we also removed this building at the front because it had asbestos. We'll hopefully be getting a shed for that space, like a bigger shed that we can put bigger things in. But we have got a shed now, and we just chucked stuff in there recently. But we went to Lidl. Went to Lidl the other day, and they had these shelving units that was like 2 for £60. They might still be doing it because they have like a gardening event at the minute. I want to build those shelves to put all the stuff that was inside in the utility room that actually should be in a shed, put them in the shed, so that the house can feel clear, and it's just going to be so nice to have like a utility room that only has utility things in it, so like washing up liquid and laundry detergent and cat food and doesn't have like cupboards full of car cleaning stuff or like tools that have no need to be inside. So I think Alex is going to help to put those shelves up. We also need to do some weeding out the front, and we've just taken, actually there's like a potting table that used to be in that asbestos ridden building that I told you about. We put that in the shed temporarily just to have a table in there to put stuff on, but I brought it back out so it can kind of be my little potting table to put some seedlings out. So I'm going to bring the seedlings outside from the inside, and then maybe I could plant some. The beds have been done, which you saw in the last vlog, which is really nice, so I can actually start using them now. And I just want to spend a day, you're just like pottering in the garden doing stuff. So I think I might write myself a list, but basically the main thing is building these shelves so we can put the stuff in the shed, sort the shed out, bring the seedlings out, put them on that table. I'm going to bleach that table now because it does have a bit of mould or like rot kind of on it. So I'll bleach the table, get the sofas out because it's going to be a really sunny week. So get the cushions out on the sofas, and maybe plant some things in the veg beds if I feel like it, because why not? Maybe put some seeds. I'm trying to do it in a really laid back way. So maybe a couple of the bottom ones, I do have some flower seeds. I could just do them really, just go wild. and maybe also feed some of the plants. Yesterday I composted them, let me show you. Here's our shed, by the way, and all the bits that we've just taken out. And here's the shelving unit ready to be assembled. But I did put compost on all of the plants yesterday just to give them a new lease of life, and weeded them. The roses are looking really happy. I will show you, actually, I got a rose drink online that I think has worked, because look how bushy they are. So like, look how happy and bushy. They don't normally, I swear, maybe I'm just misremembering, but I pruned them properly. I watched a video on how to prune roses because I'd never really bothered or thought about it before because I was new to gardening. But I pruned them properly and I fed them, and they look really like lush and full of leaves, so that's a really good sign. And all the buds are coming through. And then over here, see, look, the flowers are coming out again. This is all my effort from last year. I was like worried in the winter, like, oh no, it's not going to look the same. I've planted all these plants and they're not going to grow again. And they have, so I'm very happy. I think there's a few that died. Definitely lavender. I've planted lavender in these beds multiple times and they've always died. Can someone tell me why that is? Is it because it's not deep enough or it's too sun-drenched? My understanding was that lavender loved sun, so not sure why that's happened. But yeah, look at the roses here and here. They're just really bushy, lots of buds. And this one's looking really happy with lots of buds. I really aggressively cut them down. I was so scared, but that's what it told me to do. So hopefully it's worked. This is the only one that's a bit sad, but I had to move him, so he may not survive. But yes, here's the table. I'm just going to go get a little bit of a bleach mix and give it a clean, and then we can put our seedlings on there. But it makes sense. But you don't want to have. We originally had the sofa there, and then it blocks up all the lovely flowers. You can't see them. But does that look nice?
I think so.
It's a bit like that's better, isn't it? I always get asked about where this furniture's from. It's from Kettler, and we bought it when we used to live in our old house, and it's actually done really well. We do power wash it. I think I'll need to, well, you can tell that the patio needs desperately power washing. Like, look at the mud there. But yeah, we power wash this. We got covers actually this year, which helped a lot. And we power wash it, all the mildew off. There's a few like marks like this. I'm pretty sure that will come off when we power wash them, especially if you bleached it. The table has not fared as well, but I actually think that that's probably our fault. And that's from not covering it for one of the years. But like, the actual furniture is really good, so I definitely recommend it as a brand. The table is the same brand. That didn't fare as well. Some of the chairs have broken, like quite a few of them. But the furniture, the garden furniture, and I love how it looks. It looks so cool, so unique. And the cushions have come back from looking horrific, from being left out by accident, to looking perfect again. So yeah, just definitely have a look at Kettler. I think we got it on a random website. Yeah, we'll probably deep clean it, like give it a good power wash when Newland's finished in the summer. I'm just looking at this thinking, how could we repair that? Maybe I just need to just literally just put a plant pot over it and not care. Here we go. Let's get this guy. I planted him yesterday. Not to worry. Are you just using the hammer that was in the shed rather than an actual hammer?
Well, it says to use a mallet.
Okay.
Well, it says
that was very
put
fast.
like a mallet on some wood and hit it, but I don't have any wood.
I thought that would take longer. I'm impressed.
I'm still confused.
Why?
There's just a diagram that it says use these parts, and then it doesn't really explain.
I feel like they do this sometimes where they upgrade the... I swear I've heard about this, where the manual is like a generic one, but then the actual item sometimes differs slightly.
But I built it to this stage, but I didn't need some of the parts, it said, so now I'm confused.
Just keep going, and if it works, and it doesn't matter. That was my thought process. It's going to go in the shed, so who cares?
It doesn't even make sense. Unless I've missed something. Anyway.
It's looking good. At least we got this far.
Yeah, I think you just do that again on top, but with the connectors.
And we've got two of them. Yeah. Wow. That's so good.
Two for £60.
That's going to be loads of storage. We just need like boxes to put things in now. Here are my seedlings that you saw me grow a while ago. They're not looking the healthiest and the happiest because I think I shared with you that basically I did them and I just stopped myself from getting carried away because of doing kitty wake and being pregnant. So I did these and I thought that's enough. We've got some sweet peas, some lettuce, some onion, broccoli. I don't know if they're going to work because they really look not very happy. But the dahlias, however, look pretty happy. So I'm quite impressed with those. So we can separate those out and pop them on into the actual veg beds. But I'm just going to bring them outside now to clear this windowsill. And I'll put them on the potting table and then maybe look at some of the seeds I've got and see what could be done down the bottom. My tools, all of my tools are in Kittiwake. Every single garden tool, because we were digging out the front. So if I plant some things, I could do some seeds actually, because you can just use your finger to poke a little hole. Because they have been dug. So I actually could do this without much effort, but I'm not sure. When Alex is done with the shelf as well, I'll do the shed. I need to maybe go to the garden centre to get those sort of, maybe that's not that important right now, but the sweet peas need like a structure to grow up. I don't have any canes. But last time I bought these willow structures that were really great. They lasted maybe 2 years. They did disintegrate eventually, but they were really, really good. And the sweet peas can grow up them. Maybe a trip to the garden centre, maybe not, we'll see. Also, I got sent this very cool kit. I'm a bit overwhelmed by everything because it came with a lot of stuff. But essentially, I think that you order this kit and do they send you a new one every month? It's called Gang Made, and I guess you become a member, and then I think that the idea of it is that they will send you stuff to grow every month. So this is April, so you get your pots, you get your instructions. So we have Talisa the thyme, which is quite fun, Henry the heirloom tomato, which I might give some of this to my dad because he has a greenhouse, and I'm guessing that would work best in a greenhouse. So I could do it on this windowsill. And then we have Jeremiah the Jersey Royal potato. So they send you the seeds. There's an official membership documentation. They send you the seeds. So we've got the seeds in here, and then they also have the potatoes in one of these buckets. And then it came with some stickers. I think maybe one too many stickers in my opinion, but these are useful obviously to stick whichever it is that you're planting, so you can know what it is. And there's the tomato plants, and yeah, it's quite a fun thing. I imagine this is so good if you're new to gardening and you just want to just follow a guide every month, and if you have like a small windowsill or a cold frame or just like a small plot in your garden that you want to grow some vegetables, I do think this is quite a lovely idea, so that you just get this delivered and you just do it every month. Quite a nice like introduction to learn how to do it, or if it's just a bit of fun to supplement even if you're an experienced gardener. And then it has a little newspaper. So very, very, very well thought out, and it's very considered and like thorough, which is nice. They've obviously spent so much time doing all of this and thinking about this whole process. Also, I feel like it is fun to do with kids because that's such a great way to learn. So thank you very much to Gang Made for sending this. Is that what it's called? Yes, Gang Made. I'll do it next weekend after this shoot because I don't think it's that important this week. You have grown a shelf.
Hi.
From scratch. Baked from scratch. Grown from seed. Go to your right. No, so my right. Your left. More left, yeah.
Finally got it on camera that you don't know left and right.
Will it go through the door?
Careful.
Okay, so I've never seen anything more satisfying in my life. I just thought we had all these Riverford boxes we've not given back to them because I always forget because they deliver. And on the day I always forget to put them back out because you can put them back out for them to take. And we have a build up of them. But literally they fit like a glove. 3 of them. Look at that. So I can put the different items and organise them without having to buy anything to do that. Because I was looking in Aldi to see if any had any containers of any sort. How satisfying. So let's do a little shed tour. We got both shelves in. They're fantastic. I'm so happy with these. They're literally perfect. So this is a standard, I'll put on screen the size of our shed. So if you have a similar, and Lid will have these still. So great. I haven't really organised it, but I'm sure we'll come to some organisation, but it means that everything's so much easier to find. This all used to be randomly inside and outside and in different places, and the little boxes really help. So there's like gardening bits here, and I'm sure I'll create some kind of system for it, but I'd love a shed like this down the bottom as well, just for gardening. So this can be like tools and car stuff, and then the one at the bottom can be for garden stuff, but we've got our like cordless battery powered things here, like our leaf blower and chainsaw and that kind of stuff, which is useful. And then the Uni pizza oven, which we can actually get out and use much easier now. And then all the other tools, the other cordless things, and our power washer and our lawnmower, which we're actually going to get an upgrade lawnmower, so I'm going to share that with you soon, which is so exciting. We're going to get an AI lawnmower that mows the lawn for me, like a robot lawnmower. So if you're into gardens and lawns, stay tuned, because I literally have been so excited about that, I can't even explain to you. And then all our bits here, there you go. Just what we needed on the internet, a shed tour. So I need to clean this shelf because obviously it's had seedlings on it for a while. But also these two plates, they already have hooks on them to hang. And I just thought, may as well, sorry Zeus, may as well just hang them now. And I just thought this is a place I've wanted to hang plates for a long time. So I just thought I'm just going to do it, because I put off jobs like this for no reason. So I'm going to do, well, now I'm questioning, do I do one on each side or do I do two stacked on top of each other? Okay, so I forget that our walls are made of steel because no freaking nail goes into them. You have to drill holes. This is why I don't hang anything. Because you have to drill holes, you have to put plugs, and it's just so long-winded. You can't just put a nail in the wall. I watch people do this online. They just like hammer a nail in and put a picture up, and I'm like, I literally can't do that anywhere in my home. So now I have two nice holes in the wall, which is fantastic. Thank you, Maddie. Well done for doing that. I did consider once putting them on here, but I'm not sure about that as much. There goes that endeavour. So much nicer. This basil I want to repot because I cut it back, but you can see like how the branches at the bottom are very woody and high up. So I think it needs to be like potted deeper and lower. Maybe actually I could put this in a bigger plant, a bigger pot somewhere else. And then this one was one I got very recently from a supermarket, and it's obviously a lot happier. And this mint is actually doing great. I chopped it right back, and now literally right back, and now it's very, very happy. But this is nice to have this clear actually for what, first time in a while. You waiting to go outside? You are, aren't you? Alex is making khao soi.
No. Pasta.
And I'm very excited for this. We've got oyster mushrooms in there. And this is a very yummy meal that Alex likes to make.
Using up the veg.
Yes.
Right, we're not having that anymore, are we?
Nah.
Go and look at the tofu in the thingy.
Got nice crispy tofu.
Just thought you'd appreciate the crispiness.
I want to do a recipe on this because Alex may have accidentally developed a recipe for like southern fried tofu. So I've made a breakthrough, honestly. I know lots of you have really liked me talking openly about pregnancy and mental health throughout my pregnancy. I've made quite a few videos being totally honest with you, and I'm going to keep doing that because I know that some people will really benefit from it, from hearing from all of you. Either you are pregnant and experiencing poor mental health, or you aren't pregnant, but me talking about my mental health regardless is helpful. I know lots of you related in a video recently where I spoke about kind of high functioning depression and anxiety. I've made a bit of a breakthrough in therapy. So it feels very emotional actually, because I had a therapy session today with my therapist, and it really just made me feel very proud of myself. She was saying how proud she is of me for how far I've come in such a short space of time. What we did in therapy is we went through some goals at the start of what I wanted to achieve. Well, I filled it out basically. She gave me like homework. And the goals for me were to, number one, focus on not feeling as overwhelmed, because I do get overwhelmed very easily. One of them was to improve my body image and my relationship with my body. And another one was to deal with emotional regulation and not getting so emotional about things and feeling like it takes over my body. I can't remember how I phrased that one. I think it was just being able to emotionally regulate better, because I was finding in pregnancy my mood swings, and I've had this issue a lot in my life where I do get very, very emotional and sensitive. And in a lot of ways, that's a strength of mine. I feel like I'm very empathetic and I feel really deeply. But in other ways, it can just make my life more difficult because I'm not addressing, or I hadn't been addressing in many instances. You kind of get into this spiral of letting those emotions take control of you. And we went through all those things, and she asked me about the last couple of weeks and how I was feeling about them. And on all accounts, I said, I haven't been feeling overwhelmed, even though life has been very busy. I feel like I've handled it really well. I've been feeling so much more positive and capable. My body image is definitely better at this stage of pregnancy. And even stuff to do with food, like I'm not feeling as guilty, even though I obviously speak about food a lot with you. It's my life on here, recipes and all. But I do still harbour guilt thoughts mainly. And it's something that I think comes with having a history of an eating disorder and poor body image. It just sticks around sometimes. And if your mental health is bad, it comes up more. And I said to her that, like, I had that afternoon when I was busy doing all this stuff, I'd gone into the fridge, grabbed some olives, I had some chocolate, I had some crisps, I had some sweets. I just grabbed loads of snacks and I sat there and enjoyed them, had a little rest. And if I had done that previously, before pregnancy, I probably would have felt pretty guilty about that, because that would have been a large quantity of snacking in a short space of time. And I didn't feel guilty at all. I was enjoying myself. In fact, I think in the past I would have kind of labelled that as me emotionally eating or binge eating, or kind of attached some emotional label to it, when I was just hungry and needed something to snack on because I'm pregnant and busy, and I just wasn't having those negative thoughts. And I suppose that's the difference. And the thing about emotional regulation, something had upset me. I was crying and I was sad, and she had taught me some different tactics to use in therapy, and I used them and they worked really, really well. And I have been using them multiple times when I'm feeling emotional in the last couple of weeks. And it means that instead of those emotional feelings taking over my day or my week, it's just a moment that I forget about, because I'm able to calm myself down. Alex can be there for me and I can move on with my day. And it can be a normal experience of feeling emotions as a human, rather than this something that kind of takes over everything and makes me feel very displaced and not myself for the rest of the day, and allow my emotions to kind of control me rather than the other way around. So she was so proud of me, and we were just discussing how far I've come and how I cannot express to you how much therapy can transform your life. It has changed my life in so many instances when I've needed it. And when you're going through something difficult, your brain can play tricks on you, and it can be very, very difficult to unlearn habits. It can be very difficult to pull yourself out of that deep feeling that you're having. But I just wanted to bring this up with you in case you have experienced this kind of idea of therapy being unnecessary, or feelings being like, you should just get over that. If you have parents or a family who have kind of gave you this idea that having therapy makes you weak, or talking about your mental health shouldn't be discussed. I know that when I was younger, it definitely wasn't as normalised as it is now to talk about your mental health and to be so open about your feelings and express them so much, and then learn, I guess, how to emotionally regulate and deal with them and feel them in a healthy way. That wasn't something that I think I knew about until I was a lot older. I do think that our generation, if you're in your 30s or even 20s and 40s, I think that my generation, millennial generation, definitely our parents and the generation above came from a generation before that were much more about bottling up feelings and just, at least in Britain, keep calm and carry on. There are worse things in the world, just get on with it. That was kind of a prevailing attitude amongst a lot of people. And if you do feel like that, you're really not alone. I really do think after having conversations with so many people, that is very common. So in honour of Mental Health Awareness Month, I am partnering up with BetterHelp. So this video is a paid partnership with BetterHelp, who I've worked with for a really long time and who have supported me with my therapy for a really long time. And I'm working with them to stop the stigma around mental health support and encourage people to seek out a credentialed therapist. I'm sure if you've watched me long enough, you know how passionate I am about mental health and being open. I do it all the time and it's deliberate. I do get some naysayers who say, you know, stop moaning, which is exactly the attitude that I want to stop, because I think the more that we are open as women and as people about our mental health, the better, because it helps us to understand that we aren't alone, and then we can seek help from somebody professionally and understand that the things we're going through, we shouldn't be going through in silence. Because therapists, they listen, they ask questions, and they help you to see things from a different perspective. They also can give you the advice and the techniques to make the positive changes in your life. I know that my therapist has armed me with so many different techniques that I can use when I'm feeling emotional, or when things are happening, visualizations, ways to make myself feel comforted that are healthy. I have this now in my armour, and I'm reminded of it, and I know that I have the strength to do those things because of the advice that she's given me. And with all of that said, the point is that BetterHelp is here to try and make therapy as easy as possible. If you think you'd benefit from speaking with a credentialed therapist, I'll leave a link down below and you can see the info on screen here. You can go to betterhelp.com/Madeleine Olivia, be linked up with a credentialed therapist, and you get 10% off your first month if you use this link. And I will never stop talking about therapy on this channel for as long as I make videos, because I truly believe if more of us went and had therapy, the world would be a better place, and we would all be able to achieve the dreams and the life that we set out for. Because, you know, just a month ago, I was vlogging on here crying, feeling so overwhelmed, not really sure how I could get through this, so afraid, so terrified. And I'm here a month later, feeling so much more positive, feeling like I can tackle things. And it's incredible how that can happen in such a short space of time. It's taken a lot of work. It wasn't just a month of work, but in that short space of time, things can change and click in your head. And I just want that for so many of you who are going through it. So, yeah. Good morning. I seem to always be in the car in my vlogs recently. I never used to vlog in the car, and then I started using this camera again, and I've started vlogging in the car more because I was actually thinking about what I enjoy in other people's vlogs, and I do enjoy it when they like take me about their day, even if they're doing stuff that's boring. I still enjoy that. So I've realised with my vlogs, sometimes I just kind of pick up the camera when I'm at home and then don't vlog big parts of my life where I'm doing, I don't know, just boring things, or I'm seeing family, or yeah, I just tend to leave that out a bit. I kind of like have a pocket that I vlog and I don't vlog the rest. So I'm trying to have a bit more well-rounded. Let me know if you've been enjoying that. It's Monday and I'm going to my mum's now to pick up some silver polish to borrow because I've got some cutlery that needs polishing. So today's like a kind of odds and ends, bits and bobs that I need to do around the house. Essentially, I need to bleach the table. I need to do some ironing of some napkins. I need to, what else do I need to do? Just a few little bits and bobs. The garden this morning, I wish I got a video of it. Maybe I can video it tomorrow and insert it so you have a vibe, because this week is going to be lovely weather. The bird song, the wisteria, the kind of like tidying up that I did yesterday outside. It reminded me of, I was saying to Alex that sometimes I get down about the rest of the garden because I suppose because I watch Gardener's World and I have such big visions for what I want of our garden, and sometimes I get frustrated that I don't have the time to do it. that when I look at the rest of the garden, or if where I'm sitting right now in my driveway, it's just a complete mess, it makes me feel sad, because if I had the time, I would do all of it and it would be a certain way, but I don't have the time. But yesterday I was trying to reflect and focus on the positives and stop being so harsh on myself, and thinking, you have, like, in the last few years renovated this house in so many different ways that when you walk inside to your kitchen, it feels like incredible, and there's so many positives about the house now. And that one of the areas that we actually did ourselves and we transformed was the patio. And I look at it now, and sometimes I take photos and I'm taking a video for Instagram, like, it looks like, I don't know, it just looks like I'm in the south of France, or it looks so gorgeous. I mean, that's just my opinion because I designed it. But I'll be sat there and I'll be like, I'm so lucky, because I love the limestone that we picked. The efforts I put into the flower beds last year, they're coming back because it's spring and they're filling out. The wisteria is gorgeous. I love all the furniture sitting out, and yeah, just the way it looks and how it feels next to the house, and the lights at night. I'm like, I did that, we did that, and it's lovely. So just focus on that positive and realise this is our forever home, and that will cascade across the rest of the garden when we have the time. We haven't done anything in the rest of the garden apart from remove the trellis, but when we do, it will slowly start to become what I envisage and what I want from a garden. I watch Gardener's World and I see these beautiful gardens and I'm like, oh, that's what I want, a garden that really shows off your personal taste or your kind of love for specific kinds of gardens. And that will happen, but it's not going to happen overnight. And that's not the point of gardening, and it's not the point of renovating either. So I'm trying to hold on to that every time I beat myself up that the garden doesn't look perfect, and that there's corners of it that are covered in weeds, and that there's areas that I haven't touched and it looks a mess in my eyes, and there's not enough colour. And I start thinking about all these things. I think, oh, I wish there was like more flowers and colours in the garden. And like this front of our house, like I sometimes look at it, it's so overgrown. We need to re-gravel. It's like a contrast. Like when you go to the back of the house, I'm like, this is like the patio area. I think, oh, this is so calm and lovely. The front of the house looks like just a worn down, messy farmhouse, which has also got its charm. Anyway, I need to go. I need to send off my postal votes. If you are in the UK, don't forget. I don't know if this is going to be too late by now. Yes, it will be too late, so it doesn't matter. But next year, hopefully, do your voting, your local council votes. They are important. We get it in the post. You fill it out, you send it back. Very, very easy. And I know lots of people don't think to do it, or they forget to do it, or they don't bother. It is important, because when you see stuff on there like reform, like last time, definitely reform was not on there. I swear. When I'm starting to see reform on my council votes, you have to vote. That's all I'm going to say. I feel like I'm looking more and more bedraggled as the day goes on. I realised I left the house and I was like, oh yeah, Maddie, you haven't actually put makeup on. You're wearing Crocs. And basically a nightie, and then I'd borrowed Alex's jacket. So I'm not looking my best today. I did just get a few things from M&S, which I'll show you properly maybe when I get home. I got some flowers. This is their cottage bouquet, and then these little extra just to fill it out a bit. And then when I was in the home section, I was looking at the they had a good stainless steel pan set that I thought would be good for kitty wake. Alex maybe would suggest to get a different one, but they were only £70 for 3, so I picked those up because I thought that's actually a really good price, and they're stainless steel. And I saw these because I think they're White Company, or they're Le Creuset. Maybe they're Le Creuset. They have chipped and broken. I've tolerated it for a long time, so I just thought for videos I'm always annoyed that the peppermill is chipped and it looks horrible in videos. So these looked really nice, and they're a lovely copper colour, which I think would complement the green in the kitchen. And then if you saw my stories recently, I was saying how clumsy I've been in pregnancy, and I had smashed the olive oil drizzler. So this one's actually much prettier than the one that I did have, because it was just like a glass one that I got online somewhere, just a really like cheap one. This was £12, so still pretty cheap. I have a pair of wide fitting trousers from M&S that I wear all the time, and I've worn them throughout pregnancy because they have a stretchy waistband, and I noticed they had a few different colours. I really wanted the stripy ones, but I feel like they are never in stock. They're never in stock online, and they're never in stock in the shop. I'm now looking at it and I'm thinking these are regular. I think the ones I bought were tulle, because I don't think they do tulle in the shop. And I'm probably just going to have to return these, aren't I? If I get home and the ones I own are tulle, I'm going to return them because these will not hang how I like them to hang. Oh, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. Anyway, if you're interested, I got them in a size up. So they had navy and they had white. And I thought that was fantastic for just longevity in pregnancy, because they have the waistband that's elasticated and I could wear them under the bump or over the bump, and they're just so comfortable, and because they're wide leg they look really nice. But yeah, if I get home and I know that the ones I own are long, I'll have to return these and I'll swap them. I'll order the long ones online maybe. And then I got a couple t-shirts because, again, I just don't buy basics ever and then I beat myself up for it, because I like to buy things secondhand, but when you get secondhand stuff, it's really difficult to find basics, like plain items. So I got a white t-shirt. They had lots of different kinds and I just went for the sort of nice cotton in black and in white in a size, 2 sizes up, I think, so that they can be accommodating to the bump and comfortable. So that's going to be really convenient. And yeah, I bet you I'm going to get home and realise that the trousers are long. One cool thing though is they've started selling this. I don't know if you've seen this all over social media. They've started selling oat milk in like a milk carton, and it's only got 3 ingredients. So it's water, oats and salt, and I've been really wanting to try it out. So I will do my review. I'll be so intrigued if this does not split in a coffee, and if this tastes nice in a cup of tea. That's going to be incredible. Very, very cool. Anyway, I actually am going to go treat myself and get a Costa, because I don't think I've had one in like a year. Probably the last time I had one I filmed it, because I basically don't ever get them. But I was smelling Alex's coffee this morning thinking how delicious it smelled, and it's a sunny day, so I thought I could get like a vanilla iced latte or something like that. That is an absolutely gorgeous bouquet. Some of the flowers are a little bit sad, which kind of annoys me a bit, because it was £20, like these ones, and this rose. But maybe I just got unlucky and it was kind of like its last day. But adding this makes it more wild and wonderful. And that looks gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. So I borrowed these gloves from my mum, and at first I was like, well, what does that do? I'll show you. It's the most satisfying thing in the world. So look at, here's the spoon. Obviously I'll keep going, but look. What the heck? This has not got product on it. So I'm assuming that this is just some kind of microfiber. I'm now curious if this would work with other cloths I have. But if it doesn't, I might try it actually on one of them with just like a microfiber cloth. And if it doesn't, I'm definitely going to buy some of these. I think in this instance, there's some of them, she did give me a bit of silver polish. A tiny bit of that. So maybe that's going to help with these bits that are a bit marked. Look at that. So good. Very relaxing, mindful activity. I did try soaking them in vinegar. Didn't do anything. Baking soda. I think this is one we need to watch. Look at that. It's like bluey orange. How pleasing. I feel like I'm starting an ASMR channel. Wow, wow. This is a revelation. I just went inside to go get like gloves and the secateurs and things like that, and I was like, it's all in the shed. So I have decided, I've got my nail tech message saying that she could do a bit earlier because I was supposed to go see her at 6 p.m, but as long as she lets me know in the next hour, I can still go, because I want to go to the dump before the dump closes, which I should do that anyway. So it'd actually be really convenient if she can change the time. Anyway, I thought I have an hour, so why don't I plant out the seedlings that I've grown, the ones that look okay enough to plant out. And then some of these things here, just because that's now my new approach to gardening, is to not be a perfectionist, but to use the hours that I do have in those little pockets of time. I don't have to do all of it, and just go and enjoy it and have it as a, oh, don't shut me in here, wind. And have it as like a, yeah, I think my approach to it before, I was kind of like creating it to be a chore when it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable and fun. So yeah, when you have like an hour and you're like, oh, I could use this hour to do something, you know, do something nice in the garden. That's what it should be about, Maddie. Stop trying to make everything about productivity. Right, so we've got lots of seeds. So I have a few different options here. So I've got bulbs, which maybe this is a strange thing to plant in a vegetable bed, but I don't know what time, actually that's what I need to look at, what time of year to plant. Planting time March to June, so you can probably just do that in succession, I guess. So I've got those foxgloves, gladioli. I did watch Gardener's World last night, and they were talking about broad beans and how they're like, you know, the first thing that you can sow. And he actually showed us how to do it, so that's a good one to start with. I'll do those, and I can do them in succession as well, because it says February to April, so maybe I'll do like some this week, some next week, and leave it at that. And then he said it's beans and legumes first, then he said it's brassicas, then he said it's carrots and the carrot family, which is a nice actually way to think of it. So let's see if there's a brassica or two I could plant. Cucumber, I think some of these things are from a while ago. I don't have a greenhouse. We've got peas, so February to June, so that is also another one I could do in a separate bed. We've got leek, winter cropping, parsnip, so February to May, so I'll do that next. Cabbage, February to July. I think that I was watching an old episode of Gardener's World as well though, so like he was talking from weeks ago. But oh, this was the thing that I wanted, maybe actually this could be a smart idea instead of going down the vegetable route, is I got this Easy Annuals collection. A beautiful collection of bright summer flowers to fill your garden with colour all season long. So you plant from February to October, so I think you can plant them at any time. So the only thing I think sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, you need to plant successionally, so you have obviously flowers that come up at different times. So outdoors March to May. I'll take those ones down, and then we have wildflower mix, which says so outdoors March to May. That I was thinking maybe I could dot at the bottom. Sunflowers I want to do with Alex, so we can have a competition, and maybe my niece. March to May, that's still well in the time that we can do it. We've got snap peas. So obviously I don't want to go wild with peas. Oh no, they're falling on the floor. There's a hole in the bottom. I don't want to go too wild because I haven't got the structures for them to grow up yet. I find it hard to make decisions. This is the thing, the decisions you have to... Okay, well let's just take these down and maybe my plants that I've grown, and just see what we can get on with and what we can't get on with. That's probably the easiest bet. It is very toasty out here, so I'm going to stop there, but I'll show what I've done. So here we have cabbage, nearly 2 rows, sort of stops halfway. Here we have purple sprouting broccoli, again 1.5 rows, and then here we have broccoli again, but it's a different kind of broccoli, and I planted them separately because they're not good companion plants. Obviously if you've got a smaller vegetable garden you can kind of maybe do one after the other sort of thing, but because I have so many beds I have the luxury to do this. We do have the sweet peas and the lettuce and the onions and stuff. I don't know how well that lettuce is going to do because half of it looks rotten, but what did surprise me is maybe half of these will die. Some of them are much further along than others, like some of them have really big nice leaves, some of them are very small. But what surprised me is that they looked really, really pathetic when they were all together, and when you separate them out, they actually look pretty good. But then, yeah, we'll see. I do need to get some covers for them because I know these kinds of seedlings do get nibbled and eaten. So I could come back after all this work in a day or two and, I don't know, a slug or something has eaten them all, so I know that I need to get like a little mini polytunnel or something to cover them. But yeah, that was nice. I might get the hose now and just water them all in. And these, I'm going to leave these here actually because I know it's going to be sunny, and I might do this later when it's not so warm. Back in the car, battery's flashing. Good. I'll just switch to my phone, but hopefully we'll have some nice nails because I pulled and peeled all of these old ones off. They were spotty. So, good morning. It's Saturday, and I think the last time I vlogged was Monday or last week. I don't know when I finished the vlog, but we've skipped this week because something very exciting has been happening at the house. I have had a really big shoot for the last 4 days. My kitchen was taken over and it was so great. It was the best week ever, and I can tell you more about it in the future. I can't talk to you about it now, which is annoying, but obviously it's happened. So I've been just trying to like put everything away because there was lots of extra food and stuff. That's why there's mess around me right now. And I need to continue fixing the fridge later, like putting things where they belong and stuff. But it's been such a great week, such a fantastic week, such a huge pinch me moment, and yeah. Anyway, I'm going to the Port 11 Food Festival now. I thought I'd show you my outfit. In fact, I need to change my shoes. This camera is so dinky that it's very difficult for me to know what you can and can't see. I've got this vintage dress on, which I haven't worn yet since being pregnant, and then I looked at it and I thought, well, that's going to be perfect because it's a wrap dress, and I honestly maybe feel the best I've felt in any outfit in this dress. So maybe that's what I need to look out for at this stage of pregnancy, is wrap dresses, because it has a tie on the inside, which you can obviously tie to the size of your waist, and it's Empire line. And then this wrap can just go here, and I've just got like a sports bra underneath so that it looks like I've got like a vest top, and usually obviously it would fit more clothes in. But yeah, really good option if you're pregnant. Or just generally, because I actually shared a little hack on Instagram about using a hair tie to tighten your jeans when you're pregnant. So you just like, you can still wear your jeans because the hair tie holds it with the button through the loop. And lots of you messaged me saying, I do this because I have IBS, or I do this when I'm on my period, or I do this when I'm bloated, or if I fluctuate in weight. And I thought it was so funny that so many of us do that, not just for pregnancy, but just for any other reason if your stomach is feeling bigger, because women's stomachs fluctuate a lot because of hormones, because of what you're eating, everything. So that's another little hack. And then I've got my new Vivaia shoes, which hopefully you can see. They're very, very comfortable. I'll show you them up close. They're white, they're pointy, and I actually think, for me, white is a much better neutral than nude. Whenever I wear nude shoes, I do have a pair of nude shoes, I do wear them a lot, but I feel like if I wear them with my legs showing, it makes my legs look really pale and kind of pink, because I'm pale. They look better if I'm wearing like trousers or a long dress. So I really like the look of white because it makes my skin look a bit brighter and less washed out. Let me show you them. They're very comfortable. They're like pointed and they've got this like padding here, and then they've got insoles that are like really squishy. So even though they look like a really formal shoe that you could probably wear to like a wedding, or to something formal, or just like I am today, just going out for the day. They're super comfy, and this dress is all floaty and long, and I actually can't, it's quite rare for me to find a dress that is this long. It doesn't really happen, it goes all the way to my ankles. Vintage is the way to go for me when it comes to dressing, because I don't know, I feel like I'm so much more able to buy clothes because maybe there's more variety with vintage clothes. With new clothes from the high street, there's just a standard length that everything is. So when a dress is a maxi dress, it's kind of a midi dress on me. It goes like up to my halfway up my calves because I'm taller and I think my legs are like 34 or 35. So it's, yeah, just not a winner. But I'm loving this. And then my hair actually went really well. It's always the way. Last night I had a bath and you know, when you just sort of very chaotically style your hair, I just like whacked some mousse in it, scrunched it, diffused it really roughly, and it's turned out nice and wavy and not really that frizzy. I feel like it's giving like Julia Roberts' Pretty Woman wavy hair vibes, which I think when I put too much product in my hair, it becomes too heavy and too sleek. So maybe I just need to do chaotic hairstyling more often. Anyway, glasses on. And my dad's going to be here in a second to join us so we can go to Porthleven Food Festival, which is on every year. If you're watching this, you'll have missed it, but it's such a good food festival in Cornwall. It's the one I'd recommend. St Ives, don't think it's great. Porthleven is good because it has a lot of local stuff. When I went to St Ives last time, didn't really feel very local, didn't really recognise a lot of the stalls, and there was very little vegan food, and the food that was there, I was just like, this feels very generic. Whereas Porthleven has a lot of vegan options and really, really great food. So I think it's the more popular one and I'm really excited. It's another sunny day. This week has been insane for the weather. So I'm, yeah, absolutely loving it. And it's bank holiday weekend again, early May bank holiday. So I'm going to spend some time in the garden after this long week, just really relaxing. This weekend is going to be just a full relaxation, chill out, because it's been a very intense build up to this shoot and a very intense build up to like just with work and stuff. So I'm like very much looking forward to just doing exactly what I want to do and chill out. What is it again?
5%, I think.
No, what is it? What's the brand?
Like I say.
50% is 0%. It is Bank Holiday Monday. I'm in the garden. I'll show you what I've got up to this weekend because we've done some planting. The beds were done recently, so I'm finally able to actually use them. So I've planted out the seedlings that I grew that were, we'll see how they do. Some of them look okay, some of them don't look so good. And then I've just been to the garden centre to pick up some gravel, some edging, and also I got some cabbage, strawberry, courgette and herbs to plant rather than the seedlings. Also, what else have I got? I got a little polytunnel to cover some of the veg that needs covering, and I got some pumpkin seeds. So we're just gonna do whatever we can in the sun. Roxy is attached to the Wendy house. Don't know how long that's gonna last. She wanted to come outside with me, so I was like, well, you can come outside and I'll see how you do. And we've tried a long line with her. Doesn't work because the issue with a long line is that the short lead, I can keep an eye on her. On a long line, she can go to the top of the garden and then chew it. And we've got one of those like, industrial ones that says like, you know, it's perfect for dogs who run away. And she just chewed right through it. And our garden is not Roxy proof. She digs her way out and figures out how to get out of the gaps. We're gonna get a fence hopefully at some point that's gonna stop that problem, but for now, still is a problem. But I feel bad about her being inside the whole time when I'm out here, but she's not so sure. Bobby, you're so cute. Okay, so this bed, we have seedlings that I did grow. They will either survive or die, I'm not really sure. You can kind of see, like this one and this one look okay. He's the most strong, but then obviously that one's dead, that one's dead. That one's okay, but that's the cabbages. These ones are actually right along here. These ones, they either died or a bird has come and got them or something. But I'm just this year just taking the route of experimenting and not worrying if things don't work. This one is onions. I planted those yesterday. So again, we'll see how they do. They may not survive. Over here, we have got purple sprouting broccoli, which down this end are looking not too bad. Down here though, there's only like maybe 3 that have seemingly survived. I'm wondering whether some of them have been plucked by birds or something, not really sure. Anyway, we'll see how that goes, and we can always spread them out when they do start to grow a bit more. This one I have just planted a lot of herbs, so I've got sage and oregano, which I just got from the garden centre, so I just planted those. Chives, coriander, rosemary, marjoram, though I'm not 100% sure this is marjoram. So this is basically all potted herbs, and the packaging was thrown away, so I'm not sure what it is, so please let me know. I did do the iPhone plant thing and it told me it was marjoram, but I'm not 100% sure. Do I need to cut that back a bit? I might look that up actually. I feel like he could benefit from being cut a little bit. In this one we have broccoli. Again, some of them are looking okay, some of them are looking not so good. And then I've just drawn this little line because I just got some onion bulbs to put down here. This one is our sunflower experiment. So I've written Maddie's winning sunflowers and Alex has written better than Maddie's. So this is Alex's half, this is my half, and we're going to see who grows the tallest sunflowers, if they grow at all. This one we haven't done anything to. This one is Cosmos. They were seeds from last year, so I just planted all of them and just chucked them in there. We'll hope for the best. And then this is calendula sunshine, and I've just done 2 rows. You can literally see where I put the compost on because I can do some succession, and I'll do a few more along there later. This one, same again with flowers. We've got cornflower polka dot and poppy peony, and I've just done 2 rows again of each of these so we can succession plant over the next few weeks through the middle. Down here, this already has nasturtiums and it comes back pretty intensely, so they're obviously already growing around the edge. I might spread them and move them a bit as they grow so that other things can't grow in here, like weeds. And then all the rest is empty at the minute, and this is just our rhubarb that obviously comes back every year, and I gave him a very good water yesterday because he did bolt and flower, which is not ideal. Thank you for all of your suggestions about the bottom of this garden. I think the general consensus from most of you was to just let it do its thing for now, because we're not, at this point, I'm not like ready to like put a shed down here because you'd have to like prep the ground and all that kind of stuff. But I think the goal would be to put a pond and a little potting shed. That would be perfect. And also just allow it to be a bit wild and wonderful. And for now, when we mow, I think we'll just mow down here and tidy up a bit so there's a bit of an edge. What? Do you want to go inside? Oh. You're not happy? You look so cute though. You don't want to be there? I'm going to go up here in a second and show you the wisteria because it is glorious. Well, do you want to go inside? You're not so sure about this. Come then. So she wants to stay down here with me, but I have nowhere to attach her without it being a nightmare. I don't know what to do with you, Bobby. You're just going to have to come inside. The daisies are out, and look at our wisteria. Looking absolutely fantastic. I think this might be the best year. Look at it. And all the gladioli, the pink looks so gorgeous next to the wisteria. And if you come really close, earlier on this morning, probably not now, but you could just hear all the bees buzzing. But look how many flowers. So great. In you go, Bob. best words ever, isn't it? So that we can grow our sweet peas and peas. Which way around did I do this one? Is it the same both ways? Yes, that one. So we can grow our sweet peas and our beans and peas up some structures. I did buy willow ones in the past, however they rotted away. So these are more expensive, but I feel like they'll last. And they're also very tall. I feel like they're like 6 foot, well they're 1.9 metres. So they're really, really, really tall structures. And hopefully this just means that they last a really long time. And I'm listening to a book called Matrescence by Lucy Jones. It's been recommended to me quite a few different times. Someone even said that it was one of their top books of the decade, so that's quite the recommendation. And matrescence is essentially that time in a woman's life when she, well, let's actually get the definition because I'm probably going to butcher it. Let me tell you because it probably has a bit of info, title details. During pregnancy, childbirth and early motherhood, women undergo a far-reaching physiological, psychological and social metamorphosis. There is no other time in a human life course that entails such dramatic change other than adolescence, and yet this life-altering transition has been sorely neglected by science, medicine and philosophy. Its seismic effects go largely unrepresented across literature and the arts. Speaking about motherhood as anything other than a pastel-hued dream remains for the most part taboo. In this groundbreaking, deeply personal investigation, acclaimed journalist and author Lucy Jones brings to light the emerging concept of matrescence, drawing on new research across various fields, neuroscience and evolutionary biology, psychoanalysis and existential therapy, sociology, economics and ecology. Jones shows how the changes in the maternal mind, brain and body are far more profound, wild and enduring than we have been led to believe. She reveals the dangerous consequences of our neglect of the maternal experience and interrogates the patriarchal and capitalist systems that have created the untenable situation mothers face today. Here is an urgent examination of the modern institution of motherhood, which seeks to unshackle all parents from oppressive social norms. As it deepens our understanding of matrescence, it raises vital questions about motherhood and femininity, interdependence and individual identity, as well as about our relationships with each other and the living world. So it's really phenomenal. I'm on chapter 3 already and just absolutely hooked. So this is obviously one for anyone who has experienced motherhood in any form, has had a baby or wants to in the future. It's very fascinating. Even if you're just interested in feminism, it's interesting, even if you don't have children. Just absolutely loving it. So let's put this obelisk together. Well, I've got 2 of them. And then we can plant some beans up them and maybe put my sweet peas in the ground. Ooh. Obelisk. Look at that, it's huge. And we have 2 obelisks fueled by some sweeties. That took longer than I thought it would. Okay, so we've had a really, really productive day, and I just posted on my Instagram that it's so funny because I've been voicing to you on the vlogs about how these beds have made me anxious in the past, so has the garden. And the second I made the decision to be like, oh, it doesn't matter, who cares, don't put pressure on it, just do it when you fancy it, if you have time. The second I decided that, I suddenly wanted to do it loads. That's definitely a lesson in life, is to let go of the pressure, because then you can actually enjoy it. So like this whole bank holiday weekend, and then like last week, any spare moment I've had, I've wanted to do this because I'm like, it's sunny weather, it's such nice weather. Obviously that motivates you a lot more, but it's such nice weather, and I'm just like, what else would I be doing? Because at time you just sit like scrolling on your phone or watching some stupid TV show or like doing a boring chore. Like I spent plenty of time recently like doing nice things with friends and family, and like I don't know, it's just like all those spare moments in spring and summer. What else would I rather be doing at this age? Like I'm not I don't know, I'm not doing other things. I'm going to have a baby soon, so that's going to obviously take up way more of my time, and this is what I want to do. So yeah, I just thought it was a very interesting moment of reflection for myself, that when I put pressure on myself, it takes the fun out of it, because I was making it into like a chore, like a job, which it shouldn't be. It should just be to be in the garden and enjoy yourself. And who cares? Like if this stuff, if loads of seedlings don't grow or they die or it doesn't work, it's like a lesson, it's fun, I've learned something from it, and I can try better next time, and I gain that knowledge. Like that's the point. So today I've planted these I got in the garden centre. They are red cabbage, so it's calibos. So this is, like I said, it was good for salads. They're so pretty, the purpley colour. And then what else did I do? I've just watered everything. We planted the strawberries and the sage and the oregano. It said that strawberries were quite good next to things like chives and other herbs. These obelisks are now in place with our sweet peas. I do need to get like a bit of string, I think, just to help the sweet peas, because some of the little pieces are kind of hanging. So I'll get some string and pop them like attached, or attach them to the actual obelisk. But I'm interested to see the difference between this one and this one, and I'll tell you why in a second. But this one has purpley ones at twilight and then mixed ones. Haven't planted anything here, I've just watered. I've planted the courgettes over here because it said online that nasturtium was a great companion plant. Nasturtium seems to be just a great companion plant for everything, and these two beds are covered in nasturtiums just from previous years. So when they start to fill out a bit more, I might move a few into, like I might move some over here, because what I'm interested to find out is whether these sweet peas do better, because I know that there are nasturtiums, you can see them coming up over here in this bed. Also, this side is a bit sunnier than this side, because obviously you've got this hedge, which at this time of day, this side is in the shade first. So it will be interesting if these sweet peas do better because of the nasturtiums and the sun. But yeah, if it does, then I'll put a few nasturtiums maybe in a row or nearby. They do spread like crazy though, that's one thing I will say. But looking much better, and now we can fill this with gravel and put the edging in. But again, I'm not like worrying or fussing about that being done. Like I would have before been like, oh my god, it has to be done straight away because this looks messy. It doesn't matter. I'm the only one here. I mean, I know I'm showing you, but like, I don't care. Like this is stopping the weeds from coming through. That's the main thing that was annoying. So that's my little garden update. Look at all the gladioli. There's so many of them. Look at them next to the wisteria. I can never get over this wisteria, honestly. I never have, I never will. Look at it. It's come out even more today. I think probably the end of this week will be when it's fully out, because the bottom pieces still have a few to show their faces, and I think that the timing of this sunny weather has just lined up perfectly with when the wisteria comes out, so it's just made it phenomenal. I will end the vlog here in my little archway of wisteria. Goodbye, and I will see you next time. I think it's actually probably a good timing for a long vlog because I missed a vlog last week, so this can be a bumper one hopefully for the ones that you missed. Bye.